What happens when someone gives you a check for GHC 10,000? You go to the bank to cash it, and you find out there's no money in the account. That, my friends, is what's called a Dud Cheque, or a bounced check. And the Bank of Ghana is sick and tired of it. They just announced the strictest penalties ever for people who write bad checks. This might sound like just boring bank news, but if you're thinking about investing, this is actually huge. Let me break down why. Welcome to the Investment Nerds, your personal guide to investing in the African stock market. So here's exactly what the Bank of Ghana, that's the big boss of all banks in the country, has decided. If you write a check and there isn't enough money in your account to cover it, you are now in big trouble. The new penalties are 1. A fine of up to 20% of the check's value. So if you write a Dud check for Ghana Cedis 10,000, you could be fined Ghana Cedis 2,000 on the spot. 2. You get blacklisted. Your name will be put on a special chronic offenders list, which means all banks in Ghana will know you can't be trusted with checks. Think about that for a second. A 20% penalty is no joke. It's a serious move to make people think twice before writing a check they can't back up. Okay, cool. But why does this matter for my investment journey? I'll tell you why. A strong banking system equals good for investors. Here's the simple logic. When checks bounce, it creates risk and uncertainty in the financial system. Businesses can't trust payments, which slows down trade and the entire economy. Banks lose money and have to deal with messy situations, which makes them less profitable. By coming down hard on Dud checks, the Bank of Ghana is reducing risk, making the financial system more predictable and stable, increasing trust, making sure businesses and people can rely on checks as a real payment method, protecting banks, ensuring that banks don't lose money from fraudulent transactions. What is a Dud check? It's simply a check that cannot be cashed because the person who wrote it doesn't have enough money in their bank account. It's also called a bounced check or a bad check. Now let's connect the dots. Remember our previous videos about banks being pushed to list on the stock exchange? When the banking system is strong and profitable, the banks themselves become better, safer investments. If you're thinking of buying shares in a Ghanaian bank, you want that bank to be in a healthy environment. This crackdown on Dud checks is like the Bank of Ghana weeding out the bad elements from the garden. It helps the good banks, the flowers, grow stronger and more profitable. More profit for banks could eventually mean better dividends for their shareholders. So while this news might seem like a strict punishment for a few individuals, it's actually a strategic move to strengthen Ghana's entire financial foundation. For a smart investor, a stable economy is a fertile ground for your investments to grow. Now, I want to hear from you because this is a topic that affects trust in our economy. If this helped you see the bigger picture, share it with your friends and follow for more breakdowns.